Oh, this is Linda Vetras Nichols, evolutionaryhealer.com, and I have with me the most amazing person, Diane Morris. Welcome, Diane.
Well, thank you, Linda, for having me here today.
Absolutely. You have an amazing story of transformation. Would you mind sharing that with everyone?
Sure. When I was very young, I never felt like I could fit into a group, whether it was playing outside or in school activities. So I became a people pleaser to
Oh,
fit in.
yeah, right?
Uh, yes, it was a way for me to really feel like people will like me. They'll invite me to birthday parties and school activities. Well, I
Mm,
continued this all the way through my adult life, whether it
wow.
was the food I was eating, the clothes I was wearing, or the thoughts in my head. Well, after so many years of being the people pleaser, I
Right.
found that I lost myself and I had some physical manifestations of not doing well and chronic
Mm,
illness. I went into a state of depression. And then 1 year later, I had a near death car accident.
ooh,
At
wow.
that, yes, at that time, I realized life was too short. I walked out of my totaled Toyota Escape with only a airbag burn on my
Wow.
dominant hand. I
Nice.
learned that I finally had the wake up call to change my thoughts, find my passion,
Right?
and time to move on from the corporate healthcare world. So
Wow.
I combined my nutrition experiences and expertise, my years of personal development, and my
Nice.
love for fashion and clothes into a system called Brandtastic You.
Cool. I love that. Now you're
Thank
working
you.
with women, aren't you? I love it.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So build your confidence through a great first impression. I love it. And you're an image consultant and a registered licensed dietitian, aren't you?
Correct.
That's a great combination.
Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. Okay, so first impression. And you believe that first impression comes from the first thing comes from mindset. Is that right?
That is correct. The inside part of your emotions.
Love it. Okay. And so you talk about self-awareness, self-discovery, and self-compassion. I love it. So tell us a little bit about self-awareness.
Yes, the first step is really being aware of how you're feeling, how you're acting, of course, your behaviors. And
Mm,
once you recognize those behaviors, whether they're positive or a negative awareness,
mm-hmm.
it's so important to fully understand who you are. And that is through recognizing through your strengths, your weaknesses, what's the inner critic that's
Yeah.
knocking between your ears.
You're right.
Right. To know that real the realization of that is so important. The next is practicing more self-awareness, whether it's journaling, meditation, even talking to maybe a therapist or a counselor. Because if you're not really aware of those negative inner critics, you're going to be blocking some positive energy.
Yeah,
And
right.
right. And so the third important thing to realize is the self-discovery, which we move into the second area of that first impression.
Hmm. So tell us a little bit about self-discovery. You've had quite the story of self-discovery, haven't you?
I have more than, I would say, close to 40 years, and I'm still discovering myself, which is a wonderful gift to know that no matter what age you are, you can discover, rediscover, and possibly reawaken your special gifts. And I've been following Dr. Kristen Neff. She's a PhD, and she's very, very instrumental in talking about self-compassion. But when we talk about self-discovery, we are looking at, again, our strengths, our weaknesses, and not to dwell on the weaknesses. It's to really concentrate and strengthen the strengths, and that will give you the positive energy.
Oh man, I couldn't agree more. That is so my philosophy too. And I've, read stuff and, research even says focusing on the strengths improves the weaknesses and not to focus on the weaknesses. I love it. Anything else
Great.
on self-discovery, or would you like to move on to self-compassion?
Let's move on to self-compassion.
Okay, so self-compassion. You had a terrible car accident and yet you walked away. Did you blame yourself in any way because you were reaching for your sunglasses? So did you have any sort of shame or guilt coming from yourself for the accident? Were you compassionate with yourself around the accident?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I really was. I was in a post-traumatic stress episode prior to that, just because of the shock to the system. And that also gave me a time for reflection, to know that my purpose still needs to be reawakened. So it was definitely a door to more self-discovery.
You're right.
Right, right.
That's awesome that you were able to handle it with self-compassion and move yourself forward to kind of having your wake-up call and realizing you were having your wake-up call, and then being willing to step out in public, like even doing this, and that's
Sure.
awesome. I love it. Very cool. Anything else you
Yeah.
would like to say to sum up creating a first impression?
Well, definitely on the self-compassion, like I briefly spoke about Dr. Neff. She talks about 3 essential elements to produce more self-compassion in an individual and others. One,
Mm-hmm.
real quickly, is mindfulness,
Okay.
which means be more mindful of how you're treating yourself. We find that we treat others with so much more compassion, and that we become very critical of what we say to ourselves and how we act.
Right.
Especially the words where it says, "Oh, I'm so stupid," or "How did you think that was going to work out?" Well, we wouldn't say that, hopefully, to our children or our coworkers. So we really do
Mhm.
need to be mindful. The next one is called common humanity. So common humanity means that the whole world has some failures and some flaws, and that we are not the only one in this universe that has those feelings. So understand that we are just common individuals with their own flaws, and that will take us more to self-discovery and more success.
Love
And
it.
the third, yeah, and the third one is being kind to yourself. Love yourself, whether it's a meditation or it's a yoga or just reading or a cup of herbal tea. Just be kind to yourself. Have the acts of kindness. Open a door. Smile more. Just those things that go such a way to be projecting more positive energy.
Right, like you're saying, holding a door for someone else and just
Yes.
looking around you and spotting okay, where can you step in, right?
Right,
I love it.
right.
Very cool. All right. And you have an amazing gift for everybody. It's called Make a Great First Impression, 10 Success Tips for Creating the Unforgettable You. I love it. And all they would do is go to dianebmorris.com/gift to grab that freebie of yours. So please tell us about it though. What's involved with that and what are they going to get out of it?
I believe it's a great starter tool to get you and your body, your mind, and your spirit, along with the clothes that you wear, to make that great first impression. So I break them down in 10 success tips so you can walk away with maybe a couple of them, or maybe you find all success tips is what you need. So it's a lifelong self-discovery, great first impression.
Good deal. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Is there anything
Oh.
else you'd like to share before we say goodbye?
No, thank you so much for interviewing me and talking about how important the mindset is in manifesting and showing your true great first impression through positive energy.
Yeah, I love that mindset stuff. It is so crucial, and you did a great job of breaking that down. So thanks again, Diane. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.